right, there's my little chat. That means we are connected. Hello, everyone. Little intro here for our final episode recap review here on the Superhouse Extra Extra YouTube channel. I'm Josh O'Leary. This is Survivor Digest, and I have indeed digested our final 3-hour episode. Justice for Star. Oh, yeah. Justice for Star. Absolutely. Star voted for Eva to win. I don't know how much justice I really want Star to get, right? Go ahead and turn it off now if you are an Eva denier, huh? An Eva uh, was handed things denier. But she was. I mean, production definitely favored her a lot, and she definitely had her hand held throughout a lot of this game with Joe. You could call it a duo, a partnership, but they really weren't making big moves or anything together. Kind of just a protection alliance there. But I'm trying to find my, here we go, my notes, my delicious notes. We're doing this a little bit different tonight, by the way. Leah, my daughter, still awake, still up and running around, and hockey's on. Hockey is also on. The Hurricanes not doing well. Not doing well. Already down a game to the Florida Panthers. And now it seems as if they will be down yet another game. Yet another game, you know? Ooh, yeah, your tablet. It's not looking good for the Canes, though. Not thrilled about it. I mean, they scored 10 seconds in. The Panthers did. So that's just the cherry on top of this. I would say mid cap off to Survivor here. Sounds like Vern Troyer running around in there. I mean, it might as well be. Are we right? Might as well be. All right, Survivor 48, episode 13. This is your finale. This thing was 3 hours long. A 3-hour long episode. Okay, so we had to do a show last night, our pro wrestling program here on the channel, and it usually starts around 10 o'clock, 10:15, and we had to push it back due to the length of this episode. Just a little bit, because I wasn't about to watch the recap part, like where they all sit there and just kind of like chum it up. And I don't care for that. The little Survivor pizza party. I think it's super lame. I think they should get rid of that. If that's something they voted on for 50, then I hope that is out of here. So let's get into it, guys. Survivor 48, episode 13, our finale. This one was titled, Only One of Yous is Going to Win. And I believe this is something Chrissy said. Chrissy on the jury. I think she said, only one of yous is going to win. And they made this the title of the episode. And by the way, guys, in the lead up to this episode, they were showing the previews of this episode. And in the previews, they showed Mitch walking in with the jury, as if he's not part of this final five, this big episode. So I think they kind of spoiled it themselves. And they also showed Camilla wearing the necklace in the previews for this episode, as if it wasn't predictable enough. CBS and Survivor not giving a shit in how they edit their commercials. Kyle, let's start it off. Kyle is glad him and Camilla's alley-oop worked. And the alley-oop he's referring to is the one against Shaheen. The one against Shaheen. They're calling that the alley-oop, his vote out. And I was like, how much of an alley-oop is it really? You left Joe and Eva here. Eva's idol solidifies her final four for her, she says. And I'm like, oh boy, yippee. Okay, Eva is definitely going to the final four. Forgot about that idol. Camilla thinks she deserves an Emmy for her acting, which made me go and Google the last time Survivor has won an Emmy, and it was the first year it was on the air, 2001. So it has not won an Emmy since then. And the Florida Panthers just scored again. 3-0, dude. That's how we're kicking this off, game 2. It's about to be a sweep, dude. Golly. All right. Back to Survivor. Yeah, Camilla thinks she deserves an Emmy for her acting, but the last time Survivor won an Emmy was in 2001. So, you know, I think Camilla's got a bit of work to do if she wants to get the attention of the Academy there. Joe is proud of himself, and he did it for the old dudes and dads, he says in a confessional, which I was like, okay, cool. But Joe's like 45. What is this thing about like old men being 40? What like old men? They're old on Survivor if you're 40. They used to send like Jimmy Johnson out there like 70 years old. He still thought he had like dementia and thought he was coaching the Dallas Cowboys. He sent his ass out there. What the like? He's old. Like this this 45-year-old fit firefighter is not old. Uh, all Panthers teams suck ass. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I agree. Joe did it for you. Joe did it for me. Yeah. Well, I wish he did it for me. Unfortunately, spoiler alert: Joe doesn't win. Okay, I'm just gonna let you know that now. Joe does not win. To my dismay, he doesn't win. I became a Joe fan in the last like 3 episodes of the season. I was becoming a Joe fan. I was off of the Kyle and Camilla train. I was team Joe. I was team dad, team firefighter, team family. He loves his kids. Whatever, dude. I was team babyface here. Joe, the ultimate babyface, and ultimately the anti-hero, I would say, won. Not the babyface or the heel, but the anti-hero. All right, so Joe's proud of himself. He did it for the old dudes and the dads. And then there's a challenge at the tree mail. The winner gets an advantage in the next immunity challenge. And they're running around the island, and guess what? I bet you can't guess. I bet you can't fucking guess who won. I bet you can't guess who won this advantage, this so needed advantage in the next challenge. Eva. Of course she did. Of course she did. Because they're just scrambling around the island looking at symbols. It was a dumb challenge. I didn't care for it. Eva said that she plays a lot of Scrabble at home, and that this may have prepared her for this surprise challenge win. She wins yet another advantage here. I say production. I say, is this production again handing it all to Eva? We'll never know. We'll never know. But I think it'll cost her votes in the end. I think the easy glide. I'm not going to call it an easy ride because everyone gets upset about that. But it was an easy glide. Her gameplay was an easy glide through Survivor, and if you think that's winning of $1 million, winner season, by all means. I'm strictly talking gameplay. When I'm talking about Eva, let's make that clear. I am talking about gameplay, her within the game. It has nothing to do with her overcoming things outside of the game. Okay, I could care less. Just like at the final tribal, the lawyer reveal. We'll get to that. We'll get to the lawyer reveal and whatever she is, some scientist for the Navy. They're both really well paid professions. Yeah. And then Joe, the poor fireman. Let's see here. I'm getting off topic. I'm rambling a little bit, which you're going to get here on this kind of impromptu Survivor Digest here that we're doing at this hour. Right. So let's get to the immunity challenge, guys. If Joe wins, Joe will join the 5-win club. It's an elite club. He's not going to win it. Okay. It's a 3-pointer. Mitch makes a brief appearance. So if you remember early in these episodes when I started covering season 48 here, that Mitch, I was calling him Dangerous Mitch. He was sinking threes left and right. Boom, 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 boom. And He made another appearance. Thank goodness. I thought Dangerous Mitch was done for, and there he was, shades of Dangerous Mitch, the shadow, the Force Ghost of Dangerous Mitch, if you will. Using autism as an advantage is a Johnny Fairplay level of heel move. She wasn't really using it as an advantage, but she definitely made it. At least the edit definitely made it part of her personality. She has another freak out here at the end, and it's I don't know. I think it's almost not beneficial to the community to be like it's the autism. I don't. I don't know. It's a thin line that you got to walk there with that one at least because people are very sensitive about that subject. So um, I don't want to piss anybody off, but I also do. I want to be truthful and state my opinions. Let's see here. But yeah, I would say that is a Johnny Fairplay level move. Don't let RFK watch this season. Oh God, I know. Well, dude, here you want to know something? You want to know the truth about me? You could have. I would have not. I would have no idea unless you told me. With Eva, I would have no idea unless you told me. I would have just thought she's freaking out, man. I mean, people freak out all the time, right? I have panic attacks, wig out. Like, I make weird facial expressions and stuff like that all the time. It's hailing out there. Oh shit, dude, you're in a storm. Look out. You're in a storm. What size hail is it? Golf ball? That's what they always say. Golf ball size hail. All right, so yeah, we saw three-pointer Mitch, the brief appearance from Dangerous Mitch, make shooting threes. Camilla is comically dead in last here. She is comically dead in last, tied up in the net here. And I wrote here she can still make a comeback, and to my surprise, she definitely did. She definitely did. Joe and Kyle take the lead up until the puzzle, and which is not Joe's strong suit. But luckily, this puzzle didn't include any spelling, so that's good. That's good for Joe. Um, but it wasn't good enough to secure him the win. No one has any pieces of the puzzle by the time Camilla makes it to there, and Camilla just like shoots right through this thing. Jeff takes a dig at Mitch never winning any immunity just randomly throughout this. He's like, Mitch never won an immunity, which I thought was funny. Camilla is now in the lead, destroying everyone in the puzzle portion, and truly amazing come from behind win for Camilla here. Uh, I thought this was awesome. I thought this was an awesome Camilla moment. This almost had my heart set in the direction of could this be? Could this be? I had no idea. I didn't predict this at all. I said it would be great for a Camilla win, but I didn't. I had it in maybe a lower than 10% chance bracket, you know, and I was like, could this be? Could this be the beginning of the edit we get for Camilla's rise? Camilla's rise. Two wins, two immunity wins for Camilla here. Amazing, amazing stuff. She gets to go to the sanctuary as well. This comes with a reward, and she gets to go to the sanctuary. You send a pic to the Discord. I'll check it out in just a second. Um, and then guess what? Camilla gets to pick somebody for the sanctuary. Guess who Camilla picks to go to the sanctuary, guys? Guess who she picks? Eva! She picks Eva. Eva's hungry. Her belly's growling. Eva need food. Oh, God. Eva gets to go eat again. And you can just see the dismay on Mitch. Mitch is just feeling everything I just said right there, right? His muscles are so tight, like that his bones are suffocating. Mitch is pissed off at this. Uh, and he's walking away knowing he's toast, knowing that he's about to be a crispy loaf. He's about to be done, son. Eva and Camilla discuss the vote over pasta at the sanctuary, which is nice. They're two safe girls. That's how they're discussing it. We're just two safe girls. I got my immunity necklace, and you got your idol. Wow, 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 wow. Camilla says Mitch tonight to Kyle once they get back to camp, and says she's no longer worried about Joe and Eva. So they're pretty much this told me right then and there, as she's telling Kyle, I'm not worried about. We need to get Mitch out. I'm not worried about Joe or Eva. That tells me that they think they're goats. Both of them are goats. No one's going to give them any votes. Which I was disagreeing. I've been disagreeing with that. I still disagree with that. Um, and I was proven so. But I thought more votes were going to go Joe's way for sure. And I was dead wrong. Dead wrong about that in the end. Um, yeah, she says Mitch tonight to Kyle, and that she's no longer worried about Joe and Eva, and tells Mitch she's voting for him because he's a threat. And I'm like, what? Mitch is a threat? Mitch is at least the edit, guys. And remember, I'm talking about the edit. I know we don't see things, we don't see everything, right? And I know it's edited in a certain way. So I am talking about this as an edit, as the show that I watched, okay? And as the show that I watched, Mitch sucked, dude. He sucked in that last half. He was dangerous Mitch at the beginning, and then towards the end, this guy was just like, I got to make a move, and never was. He was starting every episode saying he had to make a move, and he never did, okay? So Mitch, as a threat, is laughable. In my opinion, that's a very laughable statement. Yeah, I wrote, fucking how? Too likable? It's like, you think he's too likable? You think he's just going to win because he's likable? You think that jury is going to respect, hi, I'm Mitch and I'm likable. I was bit by a dog as a postman once. Like, is that what's going to happen here? I don't think so. Okay, I think that you're going to have to explain gameplay, and no pun intended, but Mitch is going to stutter over everything. Okay, over the gameplay because he really has none. He really has none. He just kind of scraped his way to the bottom and got dragged there as a goat. He wouldn't be surprised if he got no votes. I think is what he'd be saying by the end of this. So that's ridiculous. Mitch goes into that tribal knowing he's going home, and it was a boring ass tribal. I'm going to skip it. Yeah, we had a recap of Camilla's immunity victory. The tribe tells Jeff they're all voting Mitch, and they literally just go vote, even though they all just admit they're voting Mitch, because it's the respectable thing to do. This is a respectable vote out. I'm not. I don't think this is any. If I'm Mitch, I'm disrespected at this. If everybody, I am totally disrespected at this. Like, fuck you guys. Nobody played. Nobody made a move. Damn, it's going to be hard to pick one of you to vote for. Like, jeez. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry, but voting out Shaheen was not a flashy, cool move like you think it is what I wrote here. And I was wrong. It is a cool move. It is a cool move. It only has to be a cool move to the jury. It doesn't have to be that cool of a move to me. It has to be a cool move to the jury. And indeed, it was. So let's see here. Yeah, and then, also note from this tribal is that Eva plays her idol for no reason. Hold on, Jeff. We all know Mitch is going home. We all voted Mitch. He's going home. Can I please play my idol? Just keep it, dude. What's the point? What's the point of even just to say you played it? I have no idea where her thought process was there with Eva, but there you go, There you go. I thought that was almost kind of, I don't know, not reading the room there. Why even play it? Bitch move. Final four, back from Tribal, Joe and Eva versus Kyle and Camilla. That's what we got here, boys. This is our final four. It's the Public Alliance versus the Secret Alliance. I wrote that before Kyle said that in his final statements there to the jury. Eva says if she wins, she's taking Joe, and it won't hurt her game. And Joe says the same to her. And also Kyle says this to Joe, that if he wins, he'll take him. So Joe is just secure all around unless Camilla wins. Camilla says if she wins immunity, she will put Kyle and Joe at making fire. She says she doesn't want to sit next to Kyle. The only way she wins is if he's not there. And you know what? I disagree. I totally disagree. I think you underestimated the jury a little bit. I think Kyle only wins if you're sitting on the jury. and those two are sitting there. But if it's you and Kyle and then Joe, I think it's going to be even harder to pick who to vote for some of these. I think that's going to be a real verbal battle to the end, despite Joe's lack of words here in the final tribal. Uh, Eva had to do all the talking for his game, I guess. But yeah, man. Kyle, yeah, everybody wants to take Joe, and Camilla says if she wins, she'll put Kyle and Joe at making fire. Uh, Classics, and then I said, oh, here we go, classic Survivor Immunity Challenge. It's the timed balls challenge. I don't know what else to call it. They call it something like the metal snake or something like that, but it's just balls. You put the balls in, and then you got to add another ball after like 5 minutes. Then you got to add another ball, and then you got to catch right, left, right, left, right, left, and you can't lose track of it. It's a pretty hard challenge, and it looks fun. This is one of my favorite ones. Eva says uh, if she wins, oh wait, I read that. So Eva drops first. Eva drops pretty quick in this challenge, and she's super upset and cries on the side. And we're 4 balls deep, and then Camilla drops. And then we get to Kyle versus Joe here. It's 2 left. Kyle wins final immunity, right? After, I don't think we got to 5 balls, but he wins final immunity here, which means him and Joe are golden. So Joe lost this immunity challenge, but he's not feeling, no sweat off his brow. Kyle told me he's taking me. So he shouldn't be too worried, I would think. Um, Kyle does tell Joe he's going to make good on his word, and he's taking him to the final 3. And I think this is a mistake. I really do. I think it's a mistake for me. It's a mistake for me because I think taking Camilla would have been respectable still. I don't think the jury is going to look at the both of you getting there and being like, oh my God, the both of you. Well, I don't know who to vote. Like you both got to state your case, and I think you both have a strong case. You got similar games, uh, but it's a real duel, and it's I don't know. It was a mistake for me. I wanted to see Camilla in there, and I think that both of them and Joe would have given Joe more oomph to speak up a little bit, and maybe it would have secured Joe that win. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a Joe head, big Joe head now. All of a sudden, me. Um, let's get to yeah. So he tells Joe he's going to take him, and he's going to make the girls battle it out at fire, and he almost goes back on his word, or at least the edit made it seem like he was going to go back on his word, and maybe he was going to be the one to step in for Camilla. And I was like, yo, if he steps in for Camilla, Joe is definitely stepping in for Eva. And I was like, then it's just going to be Kyle versus Joe in the fire. And I was like, what? Then we're going to have Eva, Camilla, and one of them as our final 3. I was like, oh, geez. Oh, geez. So the girls are going to battle it out. Camilla practices fire the entire time. I wrote, I'm rooting for Camilla. Eva is sucking at camp at making fire, and Camilla's doing great. Um, and she's being a huge crybaby about this situation. I know a lot of people on the internet want to defend Eva because of her autism and say that this is a trait of autism. And dude, she's just being a crybaby. She's being a crybaby. She literally was huffing and puffing, like, I don't understand why it's not happening. Right? She was like full, like, what Steven Crowder. It doesn't work for me either. That whole thing. She was getting uh, real temper tantrum. Real temper tantrum. I wouldn't call it a meltdown. I call it like a temper tantrum. It's a temper tantrum, dude. That's like it's not a meltdown. It's not like a frustrated or like a, it's a temper tantrum, dude. At least that's how I see it. Big crybaby about the situation. And it affects Kyle. This affects Kyle somehow. Kyle is like looking at this like, oh my God, she's a real person. It's really affecting her. Dude, shut up. My God, dude, I thought you went to jail. Like, what? Where are the hard bones in your body, dude? I thought you went to the hard knocks of Roanoke City Jail, huh? right? Were you in the city or the county? It seemed like a privileged stay. You might have been in the county, huh? At the Cave Spring High, Kyle. I know. I know. Nah, now Kyle, yeah, now Kyle wants to take Camilla out himself. A little tease of him swooping in and saying that he's going to be the one to do the fire uh, against Camilla, which I was like, that's ridiculous, dude. And then you, of course, would have Joe step in for Eva, but that did not happen. Yeah, and the cakewalk that Eva's had, there was no room for this temper tantrum once again. And here we go, second page. Got a 2-pager today. Big Balls Challenge. That's right. Westmode Hall Small Ball Sweepstakes. Camilla on her own, and Eva needed a. I wrote Camilla on her own, and Eva needed a temper tantrum, and Joe to get it right in the right mindset to make fire. So yeah, Camilla's been practicing the whole time by herself, and Camilla had to throw a temper tantrum and get Joe to calm her down to get in the right mindset to make fire. At least by the edit, that is what happened. Camilla is going to give it her all. Let's go, I said. This episode has me struggling to have sympathy for Eva as we go along. This is another note I have. I said, go Camilla, burn it down, right? Seth Rollins. There you go, Dirt. Seth Rollins reference. Final tribal council here. Let's get to the final tribal council. Jury, their jaw drops at Kyle taking Joe to the final 3. They can't believe it. They're like, what? And I probably would have been surprised as well. I probably would have been picking Camilla. I would have been like, yo, this is definitely going to be Camilla's spot with him, because some of them knew they were working together. There's no way in hell that they didn't sort of figure that out, that they were indeed working together. Because I think Mary even said so in one of her side interviews, that it wasn't very under the radar as they portrayed it on TV. So yeah, at the final tribal, the jaws drop at Kyle taking Joe to the final 3, and I don't blame him. Eva freaks out again at final fire making here. So she was doing it at camp, and now Eva again is going to wig out and be like, I don't understand why it's not working. Why isn't it working? Eva had a big old fire at one point, and it started to go down. And Camilla, of all people, who's had no fire, she's just over there scraping magnesium and doing nothing with it. She's encouraging Eva by being like, girl, I don't even have fire. I don't even have any spark over here. You've got something to work with. Just cool off. And Eva eventually burns the rope and beats Camilla, to my dismay. Of course, Eva wins again. Why'd you feed her, Camilla? Why'd you feed her? And yeah, Camilla loses here, and Kyle thinks this is the best outcome. Earlier, he was saying this is the best outcome. Eva is the only way that this works for me. I don't want Camilla sitting next to me, which I'm like, you're ridiculous, dude. I think you guys would have a great battle, and I think it would be very interesting to the viewers at home. And it'd be, to me, it was one-sided by the end of this, who was going to win, in my opinion. They did tease me a little bit with the 2 votes for Eva. I thought I was only going to be 1 vote each for Joe and Eva there, but they threw me a little bit with the second vote. I wrote here in my notes, Joe better win this shit. That's what I wrote. Forgive me. Forgive me. For I have hoped. All right, yeah, we go to finally, we go to the final tribal here, which is the jury voting and asking questions, right? Jury vote, ask questions. And Dirt says, I believe in Joe. Absolutely, dude. Say his name and he appears. There's a weakness question, and Joe and Kyle are both strong. Didn't see any reason to write any more about that. Mitch asks about leveraging relationships to the final 3 here, and Joe destroys his answer. I said Joe destroyed his answer, and then Eva Eva put Joe over even more, which I was like, Eva is talking up her game, but she's also talking up Joe's game at the same time. No matter what Eva says, it's some of Joe's game and some of Star's game too, right? Because Star handed her the idol that she played for no reason when Mitch was getting voted out. I probably would have been bringing up some of this stuff. I would have had no problem throwing Eva right under the biggest bus possible here at Final Tribal. I'd do it right in front of Joe. I mean, this is Final Tribal. Let's get it on. And this was a lackluster. Let's all be respectful to one another while we sit here. May I be your representative of the season type bullshit that we got here. I'm just saying how I feel. Let's be real. Um, so yeah, I thought Joe did a good with that question, and Eva was putting him over even more. Eva shows her safety without power to the jury here, and they don't give a shit. And us at home, we don't give a shit either. Ooh, wow, you had another advantage. How'd that happen? Uh, and then we had the awful career reveal. The awful career reveal where Kyle says, hey guys, actually, I'm a lawyer. I'm actually a lawyer, guys. Ah! Ah! Do what? What is with this? What is this? Is this the editing? Or are people actually reacting this way to someone having a fucking regular job, like a lawyer? He's a lawyer, guys. He's got a well-paying, good job. Okay? Wow. What the fuck is the big shock? Huh? I don't know. And then Eva comes in and it has to make it even worse and be like, actually, guys, I'm not just a student who plays hockey sometimes. I am a scientist for the Navy. And dude, I think this pissed Joe off. Eva revealing how high functioning she is in the outside world, right? So she did sort of use it as an advantage, I guess, Dirt. I mean, not revealing how high functioning she is in the outside world uh, is kind of using it as an advantage. Now that I think about it, back to your earlier comment there. Um, I don't know, right? Thin line to walk, thin line. Uh, yeah, dude, this career reveal was terrible. Um, who cares? At this point, even more so, I was like, God, dude, I've never, ever in my life. This season changed me, dude. I might change the title of this episode to "This Season Changed Me," and because it did, it changed me in the way I view things with Survivor. Because I have never liked anyone at Final Tribal being like, "What are you gonna do with the money?" I've never liked that. What are you gonna do with the money? Or using outside perspectives on their life to make this big decision in the game for $1 million. I've never liked that. I volunteer and feed malnourished prepubescent babies on every Thursday. You know, just throwing that into my final tribal speech. I've never enjoyed that. That's not something I like that they do, and it gets people over. Like Nate's least favorite season. Our co-host over on Pro Wrestling Sauce, his least favorite season is what is it? The one Adam won, whichever one that was. I forget the name of it. God, I forget the name of that one. But in his final tribal, he brought up that his mom had just recently died of cancer, and just like total sympathy story at the end here. And you kind of got to have one. You got to have some sort of story, some sort of backstory, but not using your main thing, your gameplay, as your big thing in Final Tribal. I feel like is not the route to go. Not for me, at least. And the career reveals is not a big deal. Big whoop. So we're going on and on and on, and Joe is doing horrible. He's doing really bad, and I'm getting pissed off. What are you going to do with the money? Brings the outside world into the game, and it shouldn't be asked. Exactly. Exactly. Oh my God! Finally, the Hurricanes just scored. Yeah. Let's go Canes, baby. Would you say Eva is the new Johnny Fairplay? Um, yeah. What was where was I, guys? So sorry, Canes just scored. We're not out of this, baby. High scoring game. Yeah. Where was I? Oh, so Eva's going on explaining the Shaheen vote, answering a question, and she's taking credit for it. She's taking credit for the Shaheen vote, which is very interesting that she would take credit for this. And Camilla mouths to Kyle, "I got you." And at first I was like, "Uh oh, she got him." To Kyle's toast. And then I was like, wait, she got him as in she's got Kyle. She's gonna ask a question here, and she does. She raises her hand. She's like, Kyle, can I please get your perspective on that vote? And Kyle here, he lays down the law. He lays down the law, and I was like, okay, this is Kyle's winning. Kyle's winning here immediately. This was my final flip of the season where I was like, this is definitely Kyle's game. Roanoke, Virginia native coming in here and winning Survivor on season 48. It has finally been done. My hometown hero, Kyle, wins after Jeff reads the votes, of course. Um, but just going back to what he said here in the tribal, though, this was a powerful moment. And it totally overshadowed Eva and Joe's gameplay and made them look like goats that he had dragged to the end. And I thought it was Joe versus Kyle. I really thought it was Joe versus Kyle. There was random shade thrown at Maria from 2 seasons ago, who screwed Charlie out of a win. And I thought that was funny. I did. Thought that was very funny. I thought that was the funniest thing Eva has done all season. But then Kyle caps it off with his final. Everybody has his final speech, and I actually thought Joe's was okay, and I thought Joe made some good points here. And going back to my point earlier, I've never been one to like bringing those outside things into the final tribal, but my opinion changed with Joe, dude. It changed me because it changed with Joe. Uh, I thought Joe should, I thought Joe should have won. I thought Joe should have won. Everybody kind of explained their story here at this point, and Joe's backstory throughout the edit and the season and stuff like that. I just thought Joe was, the humble blue collar guy. Eva seems well off and okay. Kyle seems well off and okay. I thought this was Joe's to win, man. Just I thought that story was going to kind of overpower the gameplay a little bit, and it kind of was working for me because the gameplay was lackluster. Yeah, there was a big Shaheen move or whatever they want to call it, but it wasn't that big to me, and it wasn't even edited that big, right? It was almost just like it was almost made me mad because I liked Shaheen and I didn't like that it was the tables were turning on him, right? I was not on Team Joe at that point at all. Um, but Joe controlled this game to a long point up until that Shaheen move. You know, Joe's dagger, dad-like eyes piercing everyone, was controlling this game. This dude was a boss. This dude was a total boss. And I feel like if he would have conveyed that in some of his speech here at Tribal Council, maybe he would have gotten more than one vote. Maybe it would have been a little bit of a closer call for Kyle. But it wasn't. Kyle wins with the majority of the votes, Eva receiving 2, and Joe receiving 1 lonely vote. It leaving season 48 being the, I think, Heroes versus Healers Hustlers, the season been one, everybody's favorite season. That season, I think that was the last time we had votes for all 3 finalists here. So no 0 vote finalist, with Joe receiving 1. Yeah, that's it, man. There wasn't too much to it there. Kyle wins, and I did not stick around for the pizza party. I didn't stick around for the pizza party. I went and did our pro wrestling show live. You can catch it here every Wednesday right here on the Silver House Extra Extra YouTube channel. And we talked pro wrestling for about an hour and a half over there. And I did not watch the pizza party, so I don't have any information on what happened after. But Kyle, he receives the $1 million check, the hometown boy. I also thought it was kind of lame that Kyle threw in one other note on the jury speeches. I thought it was lame that Kyle threw in the "I was incarcerated" line. Again, that whole story is we don't have all the details on it, and I think if we did, we'd be a little let down with Kyle's story there. He, of course, got to do all his classes. Has got to go to a nice college. He went to Michigan. He made sure to say that he went to Michigan, and yeah, I don't know. I think just putting yourself over on the outside world um, too much is not good. You got to do it a little bit. You got to tell people who you are and what you're about. But let's strictly make this about gameplay, you know? And the Shaheen move being the only one, really, the big move highlighted throughout a whole season is a little sad. Is a little sad, right? I mean, I know you and Camilla had this secret alliance the whole time. That was nice. Eva kind of being like, oh, after Kyle was like, I think we're the best duo. And I would agree. I would say that, Kyle and Camilla were touching fingertips the whole time. They were doing the whole Michelangelo painting, the God and Adam touching fingertips. That's what they were doing. And Joe and Eva, they were holding hands. They were holding hands. And like I said, three episodes into this finale, and I was Team Joe all of a sudden. I didn't think it would ever happen, but I was Team Joe. I was Team Babyface. Shaheen went buck wild for the appetizers. You damn right. Probably at the pizza party. I was at the I was at the pizza party. Shaheen went buck wild. I'm sure he was like, "I want a mozzarella stick." What are you doing in there? Leah's playing around. But let's check out this Joe take. Let's check out this Joe take. Here's our boy Joe. Okay, and this is not Joe's take. This is a take I took from Reddit that I thought was smart. Okay, I thought this was a smart take from Reddit. And it says he really needed to lean into being the Godfather. Pretty much everyone had to run by him for every vote. He needed to sell that kind of control he had in the game. Instead, he was still playing Eva's guardian. And during the tribal speeches, Chrissy tried to lead him on, and he refused. Whoop, whoop, womp, womp. I think that's what that was trying to be. More like whoop, whoop there, but yeah, womp, womp. And I couldn't agree more with this Reddit post. I thought this was the truth, right? I wanted Joe to win, but this is the truth here. Joe really needed to own his game. Kyle did that. He owned his game. If that was the big move that he made, and that was the only one all season, and the secret alliance with Camilla was the big secret all season, then so be it. That's what it was. I mean, he's not feeding us any bullshit, and I think he is a deserving winner. He had a great gameplay with Camilla. Do I wish it was Camilla instead of him out of the tag team? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. Camilla got totally Marty Jannetti'd here. But, is what it is, man. Is what it is. Having a little bit of connection problems, I see. Sorry about that, guys. Got Wi-Fi issues at this time, I guess. I'm not sure what that issue is. But you don't believe in Joe anymore? Yeah, I don't know if I believe in me either, but we'll see who's back for season 50. We'll see who's back. We'll see. It's Jover. It is Jover. Yeah, guys. Let's see if four of you are in here watching, checking us out. Thank you guys for being here. I think that's my recap in total, man. I don't think I got really anything else, unless you guys had some questions about the season. But yeah, nothing else. I will be doing a recap of the whole season, breaking down this finale as well with Nate, Cowboy Nate, our host on Pro Wrestling Sauce. We'll be doing another episode here of Survivor Digest next week. I believe we're going to be doing it either Thursday or Friday. I'll let you guys know, but it will be a recap of the entire season and a look at the season 50 cast reveal. The season 50 cast reveal will be coming out this Wednesday, guys. This Wednesday, we're going to be getting the season 50 cast reveal, and I am going to cover it with Nate as we talk about season 48 here and break that down as a whole, right? We're going to talk about that as a whole, together, me and him, pro wrestling sauce style. So make sure you subscribe, like, and tune in for that, right? I thought you said I'm going to recap holes. Well, I could do that really easily. I could start from the very beginning and do it all the way to the end, no problem. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. 10 bags of popcorn, 100 sodas. Greatest movie of all time, Holes. But yeah, man, that's all I got for this. That's all I got for this. Tune in for the recap next week. Also, let me do some plugs here. House Assembly, guys. Check out House Assembly Sunday nights at 9 o'clock right here on the channel. Vertical live stream. This way, the vertical live stream, up and down. Mondays, Fridays, Raw and SmackDown. Check them out, right? Check them out. Come in here and chat with me on Mondays and Fridays. And then Wednesday, we got Pro Wrestling Sauce. Every Wednesday, 10 o'clock right here on the Slipperhouse Extra Extra YouTube channel. If you like pro wrestling, if you like goofs and gaffs, go and check out the live show on Wednesdays. Holes is going to be my honorable mentions for House Assembly top 5 movies. Oh man, I've already been working on mine, and I've only got 2 in there. I only have 2 in there, and they're both comedies, dude. It's hard. Top 5 movies is hard. That's hard because you can include anything. So it's hard. I think they may be all comedies in the long run, right? I got to be true to myself. Holes definitely honorable mention. Right. I wanted to dig a hole and crawl into it after this season. I mean, I'll recap the season as a whole with Nate, but I will tell you here, mid, dude. Mid, Reggie season, dude. Super Reggie season. Uh, smoking on that mid, dude. Um, I don't know. It just didn't pump me up, man. It's kind of like last season. Uh, I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, go back to 39 days, but go back to 39 days. What are you doing? Go back to 39 days. Go back to Survivor, right? It's almost like I saw, who was it? It was Chaos Cass from Kagayan on Twitter saying the show needs a new host and an old format. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Got him. I've got a list too. It's all epics and a Western. Is it Tombstone Dirt? Dirt, I think we've covered your top 5 movies many times. I think I'm going to be able to name Dirt's top 5 movies. It's Tombstone, and then it's iRobot 4 times. Replace Jeff? Well, I'm not totally against it. Depends. I don't know. Have you watched any of Australian Survivor? It'd be a good host? Wade Barrett. He'd be a great Survivor host. He'd be like, come on in. That's how you do it on Survivor. Be good. All right, y'all. I'm out of here, Vladimir. Replace Jeff with Action Bronson. That would be hilarious. It'd be like, I'm not going to do an action, right? I'm going to butcher that one. All right, guys. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys next time. Like and subscribe. Bye.